Hello everyone and welcome to this video. We have yet another thing that we are going to tear down. You're looking at it. I still need to rearrange it a bit, but just before I do that I will go over what this is. Right, well what this is a Dell Dimension, which is worn off, but there you go, you can just see it, Dell Dimension 2400. I don't know the specifications on it, except it uses an Intel Celeron. It does have Windows XP running on it, and the last time I booted it up it was only running 512 megabytes of RAM. But ever since then, if you go back and look up some of my earliest videos on the channel, you will see I bought literally a stash of RAM from a junk sale. So I then upgraded the RAM in this system. I don't know why, because I haven't used it since that upgrade. So yeah, basically I'm just going to take it apart, take out the RAM, motherboard, CPU, basically the components, and just scrap the case. I've used it probably about 5 times. Ridiculously slow and just awful to use by today's standards. Today's standards at the time of recording this video is 2016. But there is one thing that this computer uses. You ready? Let me press that button. I need some pliers. Yes, this drive's always been a bit weird on this computer, but look at that, ladies and gentlemen. We have a floppy disk. So this can hold, not sure, maybe like 1.4 megabytes, something like that. I'm not sure, but basically this is a floppy disk for Microsoft DOS. Yeah, keep that, sell it on eBay in like 20 years, you'll get £1 million for it. Probably won't, but it's a bit of history, so I guess I'll keep it. Ah, look, that's already a good start. I had now there's a tripod in the way, so it's kind of awkward here. Might need to find a place to re-put the tripod. This side's always been a bit weird. This entire computer's always been a bit weird. Sometimes you need to hit it in order to get the side panel to come off. You need to use pliers in order to get the floppy drive out. I can see why the person wanted rid of it now. There we go. Can you see it now? Is it a bit better? So where do we begin? Well, I guess we begin with the CPU cover. Can get rid of that. Hang on, there's this BIOS battery here, which I know for a fact is flat, because even when I got it, it wasn't even able to update the BIOS times. There we go. If I just pull that out, and then if we have a look at it, then you can see it's gone all like as if it started to leak, but it hasn't quite leaked yet. We need to remove this CPU fan before we can remove the power supply, because of this bit here. So what we need to do is we need to remove this. Now this is literally just a simple unflick and pull. There we go, got rid of that. This casing, well, I don't think I'll be using this casing. So what I can do is, try not to break the fan cable. So what I can do is get rid of the casing and keep the fan. And I've just noticed I don't know how well you can see it on the camera, but all around there it's all dented. Like there, you see how the power supply is pushed in there, and then at this other side it isn't. Yeah, it's all dented, that's why. Doesn't really matter if it does or doesn't. Oh, did you see it drop then? Right, but yeah, oh no, not the tripod. I'm more bothered about the tripod the camera's on than I am the actual computer. But yeah, let's just rest it down on its side. I shall get my very good anti-bug mug coaster, which is featuring in a lot more of my videos now, and just put the screws in there like that. Right, now what we need to do is we need to remove the CPU power, or at least that's what I think it is. Let's unplug the hard drive, DVD drive, floppy drive, motherboard power, and then if we angle it up and pull it out, you will know I'm not being very caring of the computer. That's because, well, like I said, I'm tearing it down and getting rid of bits I don't need. The power supply, I don't really need that, but what I'll do after is I'll tear this down and see if the fan inside there's any good. Oh look, it's got a little adjuster switch on it there, which still has the original manufacturing tape over it, so it's never been adjusted. Anyways, put that down there. Now we need to deal with these ribbon cables. Can you remember ribbon cables? These days, ribbon cables are replaced with SATA cables. They're a lot thinner, they're a lot easier, and they have higher transfer speeds. Oh, look at that. It's like being, no, come on, autofocus. There we go, you can see on the corner it's been like caught on something and it's actually exposed the wire. And it's also like, why is that twisted? That will, if you have OCD, that will annoy you. The blue ribbon cable was attached to the hard drive. I don't know if that's like a colour-coded thing or not. Let's take the floppy drive out now. Or should I say the floppy drive casing. Oh yes, this is a very old case, only one side of it comes off it and it's riveted together. Whoa! This is a blast from the past. And let's pull out our floppy drive. So yes, I've got no idea if this floppy drive works, because even though I have tried it with this, I don't know if there's anything on this either. So, but yeah. Now if we just put that in there, and there we go. Now yes, I will continue to remove the actual floppy drive from this bit of caging. Yes, I know some Dell Dimensions had the Pentium 4 processor in it, I believe it was called, and that thing was like the i7-6950X of today. But this one doesn't have that, this one has a boring Celeron. Right, so there's that bit of cage, which I'll just throw down there with everything else. And here is the last remaining floppy drive. The eject button, believe it or not, is that thing there. There. So if I push that, you see it just pops out. So yeah, there's the floppy drive. Oh yeah, if you want more information on the floppy drive, I'll hold this up to the camera, and then if you want to go and research it, well, you can do. Look at the manufacturing date, December 2003, I'm guessing that is, like the 12th month of that year, so yeah, that would be December 2003. Now let's undo the DVD drive, which, when I first got the computer, oh look, these front screws were just stoppers. When I got the computer, it did have a disk tray in there, but the computer started going weird and the disk tray started making grinding noises. Then it would randomly come out and go in, so I just removed it. Once again, there's information on the drive itself, so if you want to go and research it, then feel free to research it. That's it now for all these bits. Now we've got this front panel bit here, which looks like it's, yes, it is just clipped in. So we've got this front panel bit, there's the on-off button. This green one here is apparently the hard drive active light, and this red and white one's the power. Don't know if you can see those words or not, but yeah, that's what they are. Oh, we actually have a date here. So the actual date here is the 2nd of January 2004 is when that was put in, so that means this computer must have been manufactured in 2004. as this is like an original manufactured piece. It's not something someone else has added. Let's take the RAM out now. We'll save the CPU for last. So this RAM is not actually the stock RAM. This RAM is... hang on, no. This RAM here. This RAM is actually the original RAM. It was originally in the system, and then this RAM is some RAM that I just stuck in. I am aware they are different manufacturers, and that this one's 512 megabytes and this one's 1 gigabyte. There we go, you see, 1 gigabyte there. And this one is 512 megabytes. So yeah, do they work together? Honestly, I've got no idea because I never actually tried it with those bits of RAM in. Let's do, what's this? Ah, the front USB bit. Right, let's do this bit now. Pull that out, let's pull that out. Ah, now the hard drive cage is actually, means that I cannot remove that bit yet. Right, so now we need to take the hard drive out whether we want to or not, because I can't get these front USB ports out. What type of USB is it? Well, it won't be USB 3 because that didn't exist in 2004. Yeah, this is just the front USB. Can I see in there? So let's take the hard drive out as we are onto this bit. Also, do I have a screw that fits those screws? I believe I do. I might do a teardown of the hard drive after this video. This is a Barracuda. Oh, let me zoom it in. This is a Barracuda 40 gigabytes, and I'm guessing the 7200 up there is the RPM speed of the platters inside, because, well, 7200 is still a RPM speed that's used today. Well, at the time of recording this video. And if you look on the edge, it's mirrors. Mirrors? It's like very shiny. Product warranty is void if any seal or label is removed, or if the drive experiences shock in excess of 350 Gs. I'm not joking, it actually says that. There, when the camera decides to focus. There we go. So as we can see that at the end of the hard drive, I know I've still got it in its cage, but as you can see it is a Molex and ribbon cable connector. I've forgot what the name for that type of connector is, but yeah, it's Molex powered and it uses a ribbon cable. Right, there's the hard drive bay out, and here is the hard drive itself, not in its casing. I think I have a screw that fits into these screws. I think I'll do a teardown of the hard drive as like a different video, which I'll probably record straight after this one. So now we have just removed this card. I'm not sure what this card is. Okay, am I going strange or did something just ring? What this card, what this card, what this card, what this card. I don't know. Because what makes it even weirder is that I saw the symbol of the phone on here, which could mean it's an AOL thingy. Not AOL, I mean dial-up, because, well, there's a phone there and dial-up is done through the phone line. Now we can do a full teardown as I've took all these off. Get rid of those. Now all that's left is the motherboard and CPU bits. So what I'm going to do is actually take the motherboard out first. Are there screws underneath the CPU thingy? Right, so as much as I wanted to take the motherboard out, it looks like we will be taking the CPU out to begin with. Well, at least the heatsink anyway. So I believe you just pull that, untake that one and pull that, and that bit comes off. Like that, there we go. Now you may be saying that that CPU compound doesn't look as dry as it should be after like many years, and that's because it's not. I can actually remember replacing the CPU compound on this computer. I don't know why, because, well, I've never used it. Yes, there are screws there. I thought there would be. Right, let's continue taking those out. And now I might be able to lift the motherboard out. Oh, easily. Right, let me just put the motherboard there. Can I get this? There we go, got it out. So yeah, there's a VGA, there's like a printer, there's a something, I'm not sure what that is if I'm honest. Right, now we can get the case out of here. Done with that. Can also get that out. Can also get that out of here. But yeah, that just happened. So yeah. Oh look, it's bleeding. Can I actually do a teardown without cutting myself? Anyway, on with the teardown. So yes, like I said, I did replace the CPU compound, and it looks like I might have put a bit too much on. Yeah, so this is the motherboard. Hope you enjoy it. Let's have a little look under this one, shall we? See, that's what the original CPU compound was like, all dried on and meh. So I'm guessing that's the graphics chip, but I'm not sure. Anyway, let's take the CPU out, shall we? Look! Back in the day when they still used pins instead of little faces. Right, so it goes that way around. Like that. The only reason why I'm putting it back in is to get rid of some of this compound. Now, if you are doing this to your actual CPU, use rubbing alcohol and don't use a tissue. Oh, there's also blood on the tissue as well. Apparently it must be bleeding. Right, there we go. So now if we take the CPU out, we can have a look at what's written on it. So this CPU is a, well, it's got O2, so I'm guessing it's a 2002 Intel Celeron with a clock of 2.4 gigahertz. And there's just some other information about it. And there's the back of it. Yeah, there's the CPU. Whoopsie. Never mind. Right, there's literally nothing else to tear down now, because that's everything removed from the motherboard that can be removed. I mean, short of like taking pliers to it and ripping the plastic shroudings off. So yeah, oh, it's a bit dusty on the back. But yeah, you may notice it is the classic green PCB. Not this like black and red or blue and grey and whatever colour schemes they have these days. This is the old-fashioned green PCB. And yeah, I would like to know what that is. Like what chip it is. But there's compound all over it. In fact, I think that's just like a chip itself, so there's nothing actually on it. Yeah, I really think that's it for this video. Unless you want me to go and tear this down. I know what we'll do. Let's tear this down. So, now let's dissect this. Is that in frame? Yes, it is. I've got an idea. Oh, the camera's changed location again. So yeah, we were just dissecting this down, and there was literally this huge like plastic shrouding for just those components. Which, why did you bother protecting those components when that one was unprotected? I think I know why. Because well, if they protect those components, then that means the closest anything flat can get to it is not going to interfere with that capacitor. If I just get something that's flat, for example this hard drive that's just currently lying off the screen, as you can see, it won't interfere with that capacitor. But if we remove the plastic shrouding, then it interferes with a lot of things. So yeah, I just wiped blood on the hard drive. Maybe I should go and see to that rather than just carrying on the recording. But no, let's actually finish this recording. So this is what is inside that. So yeah, nothing that fancy, just another generic green PCB with some gold coated contacts. And now what you haven't seen is off screen I have just been throwing bits everywhere. So we've got the front of the case there, the actual case there, my screwdriver set in the middle of all the carnage, and you might think that looks not bad, but then if we move to the end of this wooden box, then we've got the hard drive cage, the other side of the computer, floppy drive, USB cables, ribbon cables, power supply, DVD drive, those PCI things, and then right over there we have the motherboard I/O shield. So yeah, this is like behind the scenes. Oh yeah, I threw the motherboard back into the case, but yeah, there's a motherboard. Never do that to a motherboard unless you are throwing it out. So yes, that is it for this video. So thank you for watching, and I shall see you in the next video where I will be tearing. Anyone who has a nervous disposition, look away now, because there's blood on the hard drive and it's dried, so it's not coming off. Where I will be tearing down this hard drive. So yeah, stick around for that once I've gone to sort that out and clean that off there. Right, so that's it. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you in the next video. Just cover the blood. There we go. Hang on, before I disappear, I forgot to give you the tour of some things. First thing is this heatsink that was covering what I'm presuming is a graphics chip, and the second one is this heatsink that was covering the CPU. Okay, that's it. I'm going to go now. Bye.